Biaxial eyesight. Is there the high drive? Deep center. Go, go, go. We're out of here. We're out of here. Say ya, playa.
Just like they drew it up in Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons! And this is it for good! The Audubon Green Wave are back in the Final Four! A gold pile on their side!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DW Broadcasting's coverage of men's varsity.
From our entire crew, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, folks.
Right off of exit 43 here in Riverside. Welcome to the Rocky Cancelleri Stadium here in Riverside for our first matchup of seeing the Riverside Rams this year, as it is the Holy Cross Lancers and the Riverside Rams, two very underrated teams in South Jersey. They occupy the two bottom divisions in the WJFL, not necessarily bottom divisions, but the ones with a lot of smaller schools and, the way the WJFL ranks them. Holy Cross in United, Riverside in National, of course, after the realignment last year. But both of these teams very good to start the season. Holy Cross 4-0. They have only allowed 17 points all season in their first 4 games. Meanwhile, Riverside has had a very consistent offense. They have scored 22 points in all 4 of their games so far, including 3 straight wins over Palmyra, Florence, and Maple Shade before falling to Burlington City. So the thing about Holy Cross is that this is their 4th road game in 5 matchups this year. They've only had 1 home game this year. And that's the thing about the Lancers and the Rams, is that the Rams almost have double the roster size, but this matchup is still bound to be very important and very even between these two teams. We were supposed to cover Riverside and Palmyra on August the 29th to start the season, but things changed in the schedule. And obviously with Riverside, this is a heavy rushing team. Their quarterback, Dean Potts, has only passed for 77 yards this season. Yeah. And that's with the offense scoring 22 points or more per game. That's even in their loss to BC, where they lost 34-22. They've been consistent. In fact, in the past 3 games in a row, like clockwork, they've scored exactly 22 points. No more, no less, no no ifs, ands, or buts. But the thing about Riverside, they're a heavy rushing team. That's what we saw last year. And they're picking up where they left off with John Boston. We saw him just go absolutely nuts last year. We covered Riverside twice on the road versus Pittman and Pennsgroves. But it ended up being, a lot different this year. We weren't sure how Riverside was going to adapt, but this is Riverside's first 3-0 start since 2014. And of course, since last year, but before that, 2014. And that was also when Riverside's last over 500 season was. If you remember this past season, Riverside started out 6-1, then lost in the playoffs, lost 3 in a row to end the season, and ended up finishing the season 6-5. But should be a very good game tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, it's going to be a question on who can hold the momentum. We've seen a lot of games this year where one team just starts off at a extremely high rate, and then we've seen other times where it seems to be both teams can't really get momentum going, where it looks like they get to the red zone and then the red zone woes continue. So we've seen all types of different games this year, but the main question for what we're about to see here, like we said, or like Dan just said, both of these teams combined only have 1 loss this year. They are both starting out in I would say definitely, one side 4-0. You look at one side with Riverside only having 1 loss, Holy Cross having no losses. So it's going to be a question on who can get the momentum and who can hold the momentum.
That'll be very true. Both teams are at the 50 getting the coin toss started. John Lewis and Kevin Emmons are on the field for their respective works in journalism, and Riverside is lined up in front of their own goalpost getting ready to take the field. So we've got 48 minutes of WJFL football here on a humid Thursday night in Burlington County. I'm Dan Wilkins here with Vincent Vogt. We'll be right back after this break. Riverside getting ready to take the field here with that black and white banner awaiting them. And it actually got caught up in one of their guys for about 30 yards. But wanted to give a quick brief on there. Oh yeah. Wanted to give a quick patch of information about the trophy that's going to be presented to the winner tonight, the Nolder Divine Trophy, which 52 years ago today, a 16-year-old Riverside junior, Tom Nolder, passed away following a Riverside football practice. That Saturday would have been the first ever Riverside and Holy Cross football game, but it was moved to Thanksgiving because of his funeral being that day. We are going to resume that story after this national anthem. Zoe Davis. Zoe Davis will perform the national anthem. Zoe Davis, the senior for Riverside, giving us the ninth performance of the Star Spangled Banner. But yes, wanted to give a little bit more info on that Nolder Divine Trophy in just a moment here. Actually, a trophy it's the Nolder Divine Trophy. But yeah, wanted to give a quick information on that for the viewers at home. Coach Van Sciver requested that we at least give a little information on it. But Holy Cross had also lost a player, Divine, who had ended up passing away from cancer following his graduation. In Rocky Cancellari's final year as head coach, he had just begun serving as the assistant principal and AD before becoming Riverside superintendent in '75. Um, he and the Holy Cross coach established a Nolan Divine Trophy to be presented to the winner of the game. That game ended at 6-6. And tonight, following the game, Tom Nolder's brother, Dan, a 1972 Riverside graduate, will present the Nolder Divine Trophy to the winner. For the past 51 years, Tom's family has given a Thomas Nolder Award at graduation. An excellent story there about a very unfortunate situation from 52 years ago. Holy Cross and Riverside, two teams meeting at odds here in the United and National crossover on this humid Thursday night. Doku for the Lancers sends this one off to the left side. Returned at the 15 by number 10, Gabe Sanchez Jr. And the lines are a little blurry here, but it looks like he got taken down around the 25, and that's where the Lancers will, or excuse me, the Rams will set up shop on offense. As we said, Riverside has been a very consistent offense, and Holy Cross has been a very consistent defense. And I think that's what makes this game special is that Riverside has scored 22 points or more in every contest this year, and Holy Cross has not allowed 17 points or worse in any of their contests so far.
Here's 71.
Another run up the middle gets a couple of yards. First down markers at the 31. Yeah, they don't have individual yard markers. They just have every 5 yards or so. But of course, the Pop Vernon Fieldhouse across the street here in Riverside, a very nice community in South Jersey Group 1. And another rush up the middle. Doesn't get too far on that. We'll see where they spot this one. It's going to be close. And if they don't get this one across, and it will be a moot point. First down, Rams.
Side in 2 yards, they got 2 yards. Let's get 10 from 31 yards.
Bob Van Sciver leading his team to a 3-1 record so far. As we said, junior quarterback Dean Pott, 77 passing yards. And that's how heavy this, rushing barrage is for Riverside. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Only 17 passing attempts for Potts this year. And 17, and only 5 of them have been completed. 2 touchdowns for Potts. But we do have 2 rushers of over 200 yards so far in the young campaign for the Rams. Alton Howell, the sophomore, 45 attempts, 240 rushes. And then the star of the show, Xavier Parnell, 47 attempts and 413 rushing yards. And he gets tripped up, gets hit late by number 20, Joey Carcasio.
Third down.
And Parnell, again, the senior on that rush. Of course, John Boston was the big marquee name in Riverside last year. Like we said, we covered Riverside twice last year versus Pittman in early September and versus Pennsgrove in my first ever Thursday 10 a.m. football game. But that was only because of Teachers Convention weekend. But only 7 rushes for Parnell in his junior campaign and 27 yards there. So he is approaching the 500-yard rushing mark here for the Rams. But now Parnell in the wideout position. We are going to have an early timeout called by Van Sciver and the Rams. And just 2 minutes and 50 seconds into this one, the Rams burn their first timeout. We'll be right back. No score. Rams still in their first drive here on DWB. Rams come back from the timeout. Potts scrambling. He is in deep trouble. And a barrage of maroon and white take over and take down Dean Potts, the junior. On that tackle as well, the senior Devin Smith for the Lancers. And after a close call on a first down on 3rd and short, Riverside will now punt this one away on what's going to be 4th and about 15. And we will just say that is an estimation. There's no down or distance on the video board to our left here at The Rock. But punting this will be number 2, Max D'Angelo, the sophomore. Good punt to the 38, and that will roll out at the 36-yard line. So no return for the Lancers as I mean, hey, for being backed up as far as they were, a very good start for Riverside, at least to get a good punt position there.
And third set, we're doing the best. Let's get that point correct.
Really good.
And we've seen, not naming names, but we've seen some botched kicks this year because punting is not something that is very specialized in South Jersey. It's not really specialized anywhere. So, D'Angelo on the roster is listed as a fullback, quarterback, and linebacker. Nowhere is he listed as a punter. Catches made by Emmanuel Doku and getting pushed out of bounds by Rafik Clemente, making sure that everything stays calm and cool and collected down there on the sideline after the play. Some things got tangled up. So the completion is good for 8. And the Lancers, who we put on the scoreboard as gray just because they have a very similar color scheme to the Rams, both wear a maroonish color and a white. Hence the distinction. Here comes the handoff of the middle. Gets stopped maybe short of the line of scrimmage. Christian Shio on the carry for the Lancers. So Shio on the carry for a loss of a yard, and that brings up 3rd and 3. Quarterback for the Lancers is number 15, William Updike. And I think that they drew him off sides there, and that's exactly what it's going to be. So, and the Whitecap agrees.
12 first down.
That's the most difficult kind of penalty to swallow, especially when, you just stop their leading rusher at the line of scrimmage. You have a chance to stop them on 3rd and short, and then an offsides call on what's basically a glorified hard count resets your momentum and makes that, like we said, a lot harder to swallow. 1st and 10. New lease on life as here comes a bullet of a pass. And it's incomplete, just rattled out of the hands of number 11, who is not on our roster. So a deep incompletion that had about 30 or 40 air yards. We just lost our TV signal, not our internet signal, but just our external monitor. So we'll have to figure that out. Excuse us while we fix the clock. Pass is caught to. That is D'Ambrosio. They are going to say it's short, so it'll be 2nd and short. Just unplug it. Never mind. I was just telling our producer Vince to unplug it, and now the TV is good. I don't know.
It works.
I mean, this has been a very chaotic day for us in general. Got stuck in traffic, got here 40 minutes before kickoff, and still somehow thought I saw some movement there, but still 3rd and short. Holy Cross again trying to draw the Rams offside. Quarterback deep in the shotgun. Here comes another bullet of a pass. It is, looks like picked off. Picked off by the Rams. And getting wrestled out of bounds at his own 20. Williams, the intended receiver, but picked off by number 6. Looks like Rafik Clemente on the pick. And Holy Cross, I mean, I don't know if I agree with that play call there. 3rd and short, and they're going for a pass that has 20-plus air yards. I mean, if you have a quarterback that can complete those passes, that's great. And Holy Cross is 4-0 for a reason. But Will Updike has attempted his fair share of passes this year. 44 for 78, a 56% completion rate. And he is pulled down. These guys were actually starting out at their own 11 after the pick. So he is, or the Rams rather, are deep in their own territory. Updike this year, 7 TDs, 3 interceptions, and 756 yards. So he is right now sitting at 17 yards per completion. So I guess those home run balls, as we saw a couple weeks ago with Triton and ACIT, these guys seem to have it working well. But if Riverside secondary is going to be picking them off there, like we said for Updike, that is his 4th interception of the campaign and his 23rd as a Lancer across 3 seasons. Pass goes over the head of Greg Turner. And still going to be 3rd and long here, 3rd and about 14.
Yeah.
So Turner was the intended receiver.
Greg Turner was the intended receiver.
But that just kind of went straight over his head. You know, a little bit of coverage by Doku and Turner. And then just maybe missed by like 5 feet over his head. Some dark clouds over our heads, but not a big chance of rain at the moment. Might just be overcast the rest of the day, and a rush to the left has some room to break free, and he gets taken down on the rush by Parnell. A huge first down as they were backed up behind their own 15, and that gets them 30-plus yards and exactly 29 to get an easy first down for the Rams. About halfway through the first quarter here in Riverside.
Count.
Handoff. Doesn't get too far. Rushed by Joe Cooper.
Brought down by his counterpart, Joey Parcasio. Took 3 yards on first down. It's 5, 2nd and 5.
About 5 yards from the junior Cooper to make it 2nd and 5 for the Rams. Handoff to the right side to Alton Howell III.
Brought down quickly by Shane Wright.
We've got a Holy Cross player down
Rams
at the in between the 40 and 45. It's like one of their linemen. That's number 70.
71. Cornelius Pierce.
Yeah, Cornelius Pierce Jr. is down.
Well, that's all cool. No, Steve was causing havoc. Yeah, he was.
No score here with 4:40 left in the first quarter. This broadcast is brought to you by our good friends over at Garden State Pet Center. Keep your pets happy and healthy today with the most organic food products available in South Jersey. Visit 7 days a week at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon. And also, if you're a small business owner interested in advertising with Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, we are always looking for sponsors to get into the advertising game in front of 60,000 plus annual viewers. For more information on an advertising inquiry and how to get involved with all DWB commercials being filmed, edited, recorded, and produced by our wonderful crew with on-site commercial filming, you can send us an email with an inquiry today at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. And we will send you a flyer with information on how to get involved in the advertising game here in South Jersey. Here comes the handoff from Potts. Oh, that is a face mask and a half, but no face mask.
That's crazy.
I mean, Alton Howell,
Wow.
he had no, the clock was stopped.
Let's go for it.
Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, there we go. Oh,
Okay.
I was gonna say.
So they called the face mask, but they didn't throw a flag. See, that's the thing about spooky season in October is that the flags become invisible That's something that we have to consider down here. So 4:21 and counting. Still no score here in the first quarter. But like we said, a consistent defense versus a powerful offense is kind of like an unstoppable object moving into an immovable force. You don't know where that's going to land. So not only has this shaped up to be a good matchup so far, it has also shaped up to be a good cause, also with the trophy being given out tonight. And handoff to 28. Looks like ball came out. Riverside wants it. Excuse me, Holy Cross wants it.
Yep.
And they got it. A big hit forces the ball out, and Holy Cross booms their way into a turnover. And we have two turnovers in the first quarter, one on each side. Holy Cross had a holy bomb and ended up getting picked off, and now Riverside across their 50 into Holy Cross territory ends up getting hit hard and losing the football as a result. After the turnover, Riverside takes over at their own 34, and the band is here. Clock's going to be stopped here. Got it.
They were able to stop Christian Tino.
Not sure what the clock was stopped for. Now we'll start again. So didn't get anywhere on that. It's 2nd and 10. Still no score here in the first. And I mean, this is kind of what I expected. A defense that hasn't allowed more than 17 points all year, and an offense that hasn't scored less than 22 points. Something's got to break. Here comes a pass on the run, caught with space, caught by Doku on the pass by Updike. So Duco clears up some room and gets enough for a first down for the Lancers. See, that's what I mean, is that, they didn't need to pass for 30 air yards on 3rd and 2. Yeah. They could have done that on 2nd and 10 and it would have worked. I just think that wasn't, my favorite play call. I'm not a head coach by any means, but that was at least a lot better of an executed play where, calling for that pass in a pass-heavy offense, the situation is more appropriate. Dumps this one off, and I think that got picked off by Ali Lewis. We have a flag, but my view is partially blocked. I'm not sure if he caught that or if he trapped it. I couldn't exactly tell. Let's see what the Whitecap has to say about it. It's going to be a hold on the defense.
Against Riverside. Second. Yardage.
So it ended up looking like a potential third turnover here in the first quarter. Ends up being a moot point, and now Holy Cross launches itself across the 50 to the Riverside 45. 1st and 10. Man in motion, pitches this back. Gets tugged a little bit, gets hit. They're going to say they want that first down there. Vincent Gilliam on the carry. A big hit in the back by Chris Wisniewski.
North 6 yards.
I thought he had more than that, but they stop him there at 2nd and 4. With about 2 minutes and a chunk of change left in the first quarter. Still 2 goose eggs on the board here in Burlington County on this cloudy and humid afternoon in Riverside. 82 degrees at kickoff. with almost no wind. Gets taken down near the Riverside sideline by Allie Lewis. I mean, the thing about this Holy Cross team is that, almost everybody has to play both sides of the ball. They only have 24 guys dressed, or at least I should say 24 guys on our roster. Seems like there's more than that on the sideline, but they might not be varsity eligible players, and they might, have them in, but not on the roster. We already saw that we don't have number 11, but he's not on this roster. Third and mid-range, dropping back for what could be another home run ball. He's going to let this one fly from a sidearm, and intended for Casper the Friendly Ghost, and that will be fourth down. I mean, again, just, I feel like they very well could have advanced that drive if they keep the ball on the ground. But guess you shouldn't be too surprised for a team that has this many passing attempts so far. They will keep the offense on the field on fourth and short. Fourth and 3, 4-ish. Riverside's telling him, watch the wheel. Well, watch this ball fly. He's got room, and it's broken up by Howell, and it will be a turnover. So we now have our third turnover, and 3 in very different varieties. We've had our interception, our fumble, and now our classic turnover on downs.
No, he didn't.
Got a loose signal or something.
30 yards that feet. Get to 38. It's not, and he did a good job. Good ball.
This one's forget about it till halftime.
Yeah, well, we're not playing with him.
And I'll find some space for number 12, Potts, who takes it himself. And by the way, for Holy Cross, just found our answer. Number 11 is Edwin Lozado. So how about that? 20-plus yards in the carry by the junior Potts. The rushing game knows no bounds in Riverside. It's about 20 seconds now left in the quarter. They're going to have time to get one more playoff for Potts & Co. Fakes the handoff. Potts looking to work that pot of gold again. And that should be enough for a first down. Because it looks like they'll rejoin us at the 30, and it will be enough for a Rams first down. But 5 seconds left, and that will mark the end of the first quarter. So after 1 and 12 minutes here in Riverside at the Rock, neither team has found the end zone, but both teams have found each other. That's for sure. 3 turnovers in the first quarter. And as we said, it's the immovable object and the unstoppable force up against each other here in Burlington County. We'll be right back. No score after 1.
Last ball, are you ready for some more action?
The dangerous adrenaline wrestling gladiators will rock South Jersey on Saturday, September 28th in Riverton. Dog Wrestling makes their debut at the Sacred Heart Church with a powerful lineup, including reigning champion Breaker Moran, former WWE Tag Team Superstar Tank Toland, and a special appearance by ECW original Jim Molyneux. Nearly 20 high-flying competitors are slated for this event, sure to be an all-time classic in South Jersey, with an amazing night of professional wrestling action planned for you. Dog Wrestling at the Sacred Heart Church, 104 4th Street, Riverton, on Saturday, September 28th at 7:30. Tickets are only $20. For more information, visit dogprowrestling.com.
end of the first quarter and start of the second and start of the earthquake here in the Rock. But no mean to throw you under the bus, Vince, but it's a squeaky booth up here. Here comes the first handoff of the quarter. Find some space. Got a flag. On the carry by Howell the third, we've got further laundry on the field after the whistles. We'll see how this lands. As I'm not sure if this is. We had several flags on the play. One came in about 5 or 6 seconds after the other. So officials will discuss this and try to break down the occasion here. Don't forget, tomorrow night we travel back up to Gloucester County for coverage between the Egg Harbor Eagles and the Deffert Spartans. That's a 7 p.m. kickoff. No plans for Saturday the 28th. And Whitecap. On the offense. It's going to be a hold on the offense is what we're hearing. Like something out of it. Hold on the offense, and that'll be all. I thought we were going to have... Oh, no. Okay. So we have a personal foul. And then the personal foul, it's going to block out. Now, if the rule set down Riverside had I mean, I was going to say that this sounds like a stupid question, but I thought those penalties would offset. I mean, I guess because one was a holding call and the other was a personal foul, they don't. I mean, I am not a football expert by any means. I apologize for sounding really naive, but I've only been covering this game for 2 or 3 years now, so. Potts hands it off to Howell. Finds a little bit of space again. So early in the second, no score, but Riverside, after taking advantage of a personal foul, now ends up finding their way into probably their most favorable position of the night. And it does set up a first down for the Maroon and White, although that's kind of redundant since both teams are Maroon and White tonight. It's kind of your Andy Warhol pop art night. Both teams are wearing complete mirror colors. Here comes a colorful rush to the right side, getting pushed out of bounds. Is Parnell. The Ambrosio. See, number 2 is on defense. Well, now we got anything else. That's a loss one. Like to point out, he lost 4 once. Riverside at 2nd and 11. The Rams led by Coach Robert Van Sciver, assisted by Chuck Kesowski, DJ Jack, Bruce Lazaruk, Bill Baratz, Greg Mongan, and Ryan Holak. And off at the middle. Does not get much substance on that one. Number 70. The third down now. Stop. It's about 3 or 4 yards. It's going to be third down. 30. One, 3. Handoff. We'll see where they spot this. We don't have the best angle with us being set up at the 50. Just short. We're not 4th down. 4th and short for Rams. Like the ball's about the 11-yard line. It'll be 4th and short from the 11. Rams entering the red zone, and in fact, first team tonight to reach the red zone. And we'll see if they can punch it in the end zone. They've got about 1.5 yards to go before they can get themselves a first and goal. Potts with a QB keeper finds room to the right. Touchdown Rams. Dean Potts, as the junior quarterback takes it himself for his 3rd touchdown of the year. And it takes us About 14 minutes to get ourselves our first TD of the night. We'll see if they go for two or send the PAT unit out. And looking to get an early advantage, they will send the 2-point crew out to attempt a 2-point conversion. They will not go for a PAT. We've got a flag at the whistle. Potts took it himself again. It's been a lucky charm for the Rams tonight. We'll see what the laundry's about.
It ain't by choice, so much bigger. We're taking it. See the way out. For copy. Can't see the whites. Yeah, I can't see.
Whatever the penalty is, it was declined.
It was a procedure that I know they fine. The version was good. So we had the penalty was against Riverside.
Our penalty was illegal procedure, and the conversion was no good.
0. Riverside would kick them off to the Lancers.
So the score remains at 6-0 as the Rams, after a bit of a delay there, score their first touchdown and fail on the 2-point conversion. As Van Sciver and his crew will kick this one off with 9:46 left in quarter number 2. A quick break will follow here on DWB. We'll be right back.
I'm going to talk.
Overlooking the Riverside Rams football field, the Pop Vernon Fieldhouse here in wonderful Riverside, New Jersey. We've got an excellent game so far between the Lancers and the Rams. The Rams just punched in their first TD of the night on a QB keeper by Dean Potts. Potts took it himself on the 2-point conversion, which is apparently the default because they do not have a rostered kicker. I mean, they do have D'Angelo to do kickoffs and punts, but that's about all she wrote, right? And we see that a lot with some South Jersey Group 1 teams is, seeing a lack of representation on special teams. And we've seen some teams that have good punters and kickers win extra ball games because they can trap the defenses, deep in their own territories and whatever other analogies you want to strap on there. It ends up being a benefit, even though it's not exactly an obvious benefit at surface level. A low-hanging kick gets taken in at the 35.
He was down by contact.
So he was down basically before it even started. And Riverside will turn over on defense. First and 10 for the Lancers at the 35. This broadcast is brought to you by our good friends at Harper Driving School. Over 95% of students who take their New Jersey state driving test with Harper Driving School pass on the first attempt. If you like those odds, you can book an appointment today at Suite E of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman, right off of Lambs Road. Again, Updike in the shotgun. Handoff gets about 2 yards past the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down for the Lancers. Don't forget, on Sunday, September 29th, we're up bright and early for some ball hockey between the Cedar Creek Pirates and the Audubon Green Wave. It'll be a 9 a.m. start time on the 29th from the Belmar Hockey Rinks at Bell Oaks. Should be a fun one. It is our first ever hockey broadcast, which would mean it is the 10th sport to be ever covered
on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting.
So you're doing a hockey taco?
Handoff to the left side.
Big rush by Gilliam, who finds plenty of room. Finally gets wrestled out inside the red zone for the Rams. Excuse us, folks. We got to move this camera over just so that we can get this angle. We had to do this in Salem a couple months ago where there's a giant metal pillar blocking our view, but need to make sure we can see both end zones. So hand off to the left side again for Gilliam.
Yeah, left side. It's inside the Riverside 10. He's going part down by Drake Vernon and the line.
So Holy Cross looking to even the score.
Yes.
Second and short. Updike rolls out of the pocket to the left, gets hit as he throws, and the corner of the end zone didn't get it. Intended for D'Ambrosio.
Good defense by Alamos. Had the defender cut off. So bring us third down. Short on the cross.
And by the way, for our viewers at home that were trying to count the 10 sports that would be covered with our first hockey game this weekend, baseball, softball, football, basketball, soccer, field hockey, golf, volleyball, um, excuse me, I don't know why I was blanking on the ninth one. Oh, hold on here. Not going to blank on this one, though, as it goes through the left side. Touchdown, Holy Cross. Christian Shio, with no doubt, gets it from the red zone, and Holy Cross has just tied this game 6-6 with 8 minutes and a chunk of change left in the half. So yeah, we'll start that over again. Baseball, softball, basketball, football, soccer, volleyball, golf, field hockey, sim racing was our ninth that we debuted yesterday. PAT attempt is out for Emmanuel Doku, being held by the starting quarterback Updike. They're going to try to take a 1-point lead. It is, oh boy, that is off to the left. Hits the referee's left shoe and falls short. And the PAT is no good, meaning that this game is tied up at 6-6 apiece with 8:08 left in the first half. We'll be right back as Holy Cross evens this game up at one score apiece. Holy Cross has just tied this game up at 6 apiece. Their PAT attempt failed.
Three.
Holy Cross will kick this off. Doku to send this one away for the Lancers, as this game is knotted up at 6 apiece. Sent away, and this one is going to roll out of bounds. rolls out of bounds at around the 15. They're going to re-kick. You know what? This happened with Riverside and Pittman last year too. I think it was Pittman. Either it was one of the two teams kicked it out of bounds, obviously, and then they re-kicked it twice. And then on the third attempt, the defense took it over and then scored. So Doku will now kick this from the 35 as it's going to be a re-kick after the kicking out of bounds penalty. I'm surprised they took that, maybe thinking that they can get a better field position on the second attempt. And I don't know. I mean, it's going to be picked up at the 30. We'll see what Howell can do with it. I'm not going to get too far there, but probably about the same distance that you would have gotten from just accepting the out of bounds penalty and starting over at the 35. So no harm, no foul, and Riverside will take it over. Don't forget, next week, we've got a special week of DWB action coming up. Tuesday, October 1st, will be the Brookdale Jersey Blues and the RCSJ Roadrunners in nationally ranked women's soccer matchups at 4 p.m. at the Sewell Complex for the Roadrunner Athletics. We'll get into the rest of next week's schedule after this play. Handoff to Parnell. Gets some mustard on it and gets about 10 yards. On Thursday, October 3rd, we get into some men's soccer action between the Pittman Panthers and the Audubon Green Wave, my alma mater, for a 5 p.m. kick for 80 minutes of action in the Colonial Conference and the Tri-County Conference between two former foes that are now visiting each other again for the first time since 2020. And then on Friday, October 4th, we've got a special matchup on the horizon, which we'll get to again after this play. Handoff to Parnell. No, hold on. Potts takes it himself. He finds a little bit of room, taken down at the 45 and lifted up by Wojtkowiak. I don't know why I had it at the tip of my tongue. Next week is Florence and Cinnaminson. So we'll be back up here again in Burlington County. And then Saturday, October 5th is going to be a really special day. That is the 3-year anniversary of Dan Wilkins Broadcasting and our first ever live stream, which was boys soccer between Gloucester and Audubon on October 5th of 2021 when I was a sophomore in high school at Audubon. Of course, with me being a freshman at RCSJ now. We are celebrating that with a doubleheader. Camden Eastside versus Pennsauken at 12. And then we travel all the way over to the Shore Conference for the Rumson Fairhaven Bulldogs and the Manchester Township Hawks for some Shore Conference play, our only non-WJFL game of the year. But the doubleheader celebrates our 3-year anniversary as a company. And we are forever grateful to the people that are sitting beside us and doing the production, doing color commentary, whatever it is, to help us move along here. We're going to be very fun. And we'll see a preview of Rumson Fairhaven this Friday. NJ.com has them picked up for the game of the week with Rumson Fairhaven at Middletown South. Third and mid-range. Not sure who had the handoff on there, but it's not going to matter. Holy Cross is coming back the other way. They've got room. They've got daylight. They are over to the 10. He is taken out of bounds. And we have turnover number 4 as Holy Cross. Hold on. We got a flag coming in.
Flag is down.
A good 10 or 15 seconds after the play. And it's all the way back at the 30. So whatever this is, it's not good.
Lord. Flag.
That was about, that was recovered for about 55 yards. I couldn't tell. I think that was number 20, Carcasio, that was on the return. But the referees are going to discuss this one and decide who's at fault.
It's true, right?
I didn't hear him.
Okay. I've got many blocks slack on when they coming behind it.
As we said, the flag came in about 5 seconds after the whistle and after Carcasio was taken down at around the 10. Excuse us again as we move the camera. It's just a little bit to just have to navigate through here, so please excuse us. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Holy Cross. As we said, that was after the play.
Change the field. Let's hear for the former recovery and the return.
So Holy Cross will have a new possession on what has been the fourth combined turnover of the first half, with 5:38 to play in the first half.
So after the penalty,
As the Riverside faithful starting to fill up the grandstands here on this Thursday night. Some of the soccer players came in. I saw some of the volleyball players came in as well. First and 10 for Updike, who drops back at the 40, lets it fly. He's got room. Touchdown, Lancers. D'Ambrosio is found in the end zone, and for their second TD in just a couple of minutes, they find him again.
it was a good ball.
And that makes it 12-6 as Holy Cross starting to break through that Rams defense a little bit more. They will again bring out the PAT unit for Emmanuel Doku. It is up, and this is a booming kick headed out towards exit 43, and that one is going to be good. And it is going to be 13-6 in favor of the Holy Cross Lancers. And with Riverside allowing another turnover and now another touchdown, makes it a precarious situation going into what could be their final drive of the first half. We'll take a quick break. 5 minutes and a chunk of change left in the first half. 13-6 in favor of the Lancers.
Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide.
Yeah, that motion's too long. Doku again sends it away for the Lancers. Picked up by the Rams, and Ruiz runs it out of bounds, and Riverside will take over inside their own 45.
5:29 to go 6 minutes, trailing by 7.
5:30 left in the first half. Holy Cross just took advantage of a huge turnover as Carcasio took a fumble 55 yards, sending them into the red zone, but then after a curricular flag, ended up knocking them back to outside of the red zone, but didn't matter. First play from scrimmage. Their man, number 15, William Updike, found the man in the end zone for the 9th passing touchdown by Updike this year. Here comes the handoff. It's number 28, Joe Cooper.
Quickly by ACO.
I mean, this is something where Riverside can have some good clock management going into the halftime break. It'll always be nice if you can find the end zone, but you have a little bit of time to work with, just a hair over 5 minutes now, and you've got 57, 58 yards to run. You can take your offense a little slowly, and you can make this drive your last of the half and tie up the game and feel a little bit better for Van Sciver and all those assistants going into the locker room. The rush to the left side goes for a handful of yards, and that'll be third and mid-range. Third and about 5. I think that was Howell over the middle, and it looks like that will be a first down for Riverside.
It's first down at the 48-yard line of Holy Cross.
And we've got time called here. We'll see if this is a timeout.
Took somebody off.
Not a timeout, but the time resumes. Handoff to Parnell. That's a couple of yards again. Actually got more than I thought, unless that was just an extra tackle in the backfield.
But a tough run by Parnell picks up
Basically second and 4.
22-yard line.
If you're just joining us, Holy Cross has put up 13 unanswered points after Riverside found the end zone in the first few plays of the second quarter. Holy Cross found the end zone first about 8 minutes in, and then how about William Updike from 32 yards found number 18, Anthony D'Ambrosio, in the end zone for a passing TD, and being leveled to the ground is Alton Howell. And a move like that should remind you that this broadcast is brought to you by our good friends over at the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators. Dog Wrestling will rock South Jersey on Saturday, September 28th in just 2 days at the Sacred Heart Church at 103 4th Street in Riverton. Over 20 wrestlers are slated for this event, including reigning champion Breaker Morant and former WWE tag team specialist Tank Toland. And a special appearance, as that will be a first down, special appearance by former ECW original Jim Molyneux. For more information and tickets, along with a bell time of 7:30, for more information, visit Dog Pro Wrestling, DAWG ProWrestling.com. So Howell heading to the sideline as we've got 2:30 and a couple of seconds extra here in the second quarter. Again, pops from the shotgun, hands it off to their halfback, and again, gets about 4 yards. I mean, this is a consistent gain from Riverside. They just have been very slowly chiseling into this Holy Cross defense to where they can't do too much about it. And, props to Holy Cross for passing the ball a lot more than I expected. I saw 78 passing attempts, and I thought, well, they're going to pass the ball a lot. But it's always nice to see a game between two very different offenses, because you sometimes have these teams that both run or teams that both pass, and it's at least a lot more unique to see two teams that have very unique and darn near polar opposite play call strategies that show, the different philosophies of how to run an offense, how to scheme a defense, and how to win ball games. Because like I said, neither of these teams, even though they've had incredibly good records so far, look at Riverside in their games this year. They shut out Palmyra 28-22 was the final there. Florence 22-10, Maple Shade 22-0, and then they lost to Burlington City at home 34-22. Handoff again, probably, well, I mean, this is a carry by Potts here. Clock is going to stop for a player down, it looks like. No, actually. I apologize. Timeout called by the Rams. We'll take a quick break. One timeout left for the Riverside Rams, and we'll be right back. It is 13-6, Holy Cross. .99 seconds left in the first half. 13-6. Holy Cross. Potts with another keeper on 4th and 4. He finds room, and he finally gets taken down into the red zone for a Rams first down. And a very impressive gain there by Potts. I mean, I was very surprised to see, considering they have guys like Howell and Parnell who have been very impressive on the rushing game tonight. I mean, these guys have a whole host of different weapons on the rush game, and I wasn't expecting the QB Potts to be one of them. Just the sheer amount of QB keepers that they've ran tonight is very impressive. Potts with his 18th pass of the year, his 6th completion, and he gets dropped at the 5 or 6. Got under a minute now. Riverside turning on the Jets.
Two from the end. 35 seconds to go.
They'll have time for a few more plays. They also have one timeout left to burn. Holy Cross has all 3. But why would you use any of them at this moment? Here comes a handoff. This gets stopped by the Lancers defense, and it looks like the Rams and Van Sciver will call their final timeout. We'll stay on the air here with 29.2 seconds left in the second quarter as Riverside burns their final timeout. Great night here in Riverside, a little bit humid. Airflow in this press box is about as good as a baby left in a hot car. But you know what? We've got air conditioning in our car that we can go to after the fourth quarter. So great to be here with Vincent Folk tonight. We're going to have a new crew on Friday with David Cohen as a color commentator for that Egg Harbor Deffert game on Friday. Hope you all could support then. And then bright and early on the 29th with Cedar Creek and Audubon in ball hockey. Like we said, our 10th sport covered. And to be fair, about 4 of those sports have only been covered once: baseball, football, softball, and soccer, basketball. Those are the ones that we've covered many, many times. But field hockey only done once, golf only once, volleyball twice, and sim racing only once as well, which was last night. Potts will go back to pass. Just his 19th attempt of the year, and it's incomplete. Didn't find a man at the goal line, and this brings up 4th and short. So right now, just trying to preserve the clock as best as they can. With only 24 seconds left, you have no timeouts. And Potts going out to talk after Van Sciver had a word with him to talk with his offense about, how these guys are going to conduct themselves on 4th and short. You've got some time, but really not too much. If you don't find the end zone here, you're unlikely to find it before the end of the half. Here goes Potts again. 4th and 3-ish, rolling out to the right, gets hit out of bounds. I think it'll be short. The fella in the backwards cap definitely wants it to be a first down for the Rams.
That is the first down.
They got it with 16 seconds left, and he got forced out of bounds, which stops the clock. That was a beautiful, kind of a power play there by the Riverside Club there on offense. Is just Potts has been in control for most of this quarter. He's been running a lot of QB draws. We've seen his first 2 pass attempts of the night. He lets it air out, gets 1 completion, misses 1, and then instead of airing it out on 4th and short, is able to take it himself for a first down. Now it's 1st and goal from inside the 9 or 8. I think Riverside is close. The time is ticking. The ball got respotted. They're going to spike it. They've got 4.7 seconds on the clock.
Whew. Nice by Rams. They're going to spike it for second.
I don't think I've seen a ball spotted that quickly and getting spiked that quickly in a while, especially in high school athletics. That usually takes a couple extra seconds. But either way, this is your do or die play with 4.7 on the clock. And Riverside looking to get into the end zone and tie this game up. Or, I mean, if you think about it, because they don't have a rostered kicker, they can either trail at the half or lead at the half, because they'll only attempt a 2-point conversion and they would lead 14-13. 4.6 seconds. Potts in an empty backfield takes it himself. And that's going to be short. And Holy Cross will end the half on a whimper for the Rams, but an incredible stop by Holy Cross to get that play done, and a roar of cheers from the visiting grandstands as they make the goal line stand. And at the end of the half, Holy Cross will lead by 7. Man, that was a tough break for Riverside. They managed the clock beautifully, spotted the ball at a perfect efficiency, and just couldn't get it done at the end of the half. We're going to take a break, and Holy Cross leads by 7 here after 2 quarters of play here at the Joseph T. Rocky Cancellieri Stadium.
Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Glassboro, are you ready for some more action?
The dangerous adrenaline wrestling gladiators will rock South Jersey on Saturday, September 28th in Riverton. Dog wrestling makes their debut at the Sacred Heart Church with a powerful lineup, including reigning champion Breaker Moran, former WWE Tag Team Superstar Tank Toland, and a special appearance by ECW original Jim Molyneux. Nearly 20 high-flying competitors are slated for this event, sure to be an all-time classic in South Jersey, with an amazing night of professional wrestling action planned for you. Dog wrestling at the Sacred Heart Church, 104 4th Street, Riverton, on Saturday, September 28th at 7:30. Tickets are only $20. For more information, visit dogprowrestling.com.
Launches one foul. See, Mysterio's doing us a service here. Or excuse me, D'Alessandro. D'Alessandro is doing us a service here. He's letting us have this conversation by having a long at-bat. But a lot of people are still caught up in the D1 or bust mentality. Listen to this crowd. Listen to this crowd. We'll talk about that later. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Clapping it up here for the Roadrunners. 2-2. Here's a fly ball out towards center field. This one's going back, and this one is gone! 3-run homer! D'Alessandro! And it's a 1-run game at the crack of the bat. 5-4. 3-run shot to center field. Trailing towards the right center, and the cleanup man does exactly what the position orders. Cleaning up. And he does it incredibly well with a 5-4 game. He battles for 11 pitches. And
will lead it off for the Senators. Chase Rollins, the player manager for CHP, gets it started with a ball upstairs, and we are underway in game 1. 1-0. That one is hit well out towards left, and it is gone off the top of the goalpost. Shane Adamski with a thunderous start to his playoff series. Second pitch of the game, a solo homer to left, and before I could even write the first name down in my scorecard, it's 1-0.
All right, so Holy Cross leads Riverside 13-6 at the half, and honestly, I didn't come into this game having a clear thought in my head of who was going to be out in front tonight at any point. Just because these teams are so very different. Holy Cross is a heavy pass offense with Upkeep, and Riverside is a heavy rush offense. They pulled out a lot of sticks with the QB rushes and the QB keepers from Dean Potts. They've done a phenomenal job with that tonight, but Holy Cross has still managed to turnovers and they have executed them well to get on the board with 13-6.
Again, looking at it, it's been. These are two teams that are at pretty much close to a same level. They both had an extremely good start to the season, and right now, a big thing for this first half. If I was to find a theme for the first half, it would be turnovers. We saw a lot. We saw interceptions. We saw a fumble recovery that went 55 yards. So. In that first half in general, it was turnover palooza. And when looking at it, Holy Cross has been the one that has been able to take advantage of it to the best of their ability. And therefore, looking at the 13-6 score, right now, they're the ones that have been able to take the momentum and do something with the momentum. And therefore, you got this 13-6, kind of an interesting score of one failed PAT and then another failed PAT on the other side, but they did get that one extra point. So therefore, you're 13. So it's an interesting game so far at that point.
I'll have to agree, and we'll turn it over back to the other side of the field now as we have ourselves our second half.
$70. You're booking from 40 just everything. You can export right. Play for it again. What the hell? I see two switch. No,
I know, not.
In front of price 70.
We got 70.
220 sleeps. They can go.
It's right in your way. Let me see. I don't know. There's 3 lights and 2 sleeps. Do you know which switch goes to which light? Because aren't glare. Try it. Okay. Let's just flip one on. See what. Oh, that turns all of them off. Double whammy. Try it. Okay, turn it back on.
All right.
What about the left one?
What about the left one? Who's the left one?
Oh, you mean that side?
I don't know.
So,
Okay, so it's 4 switches to the same thing.
Two work and it's only one connection. Sorry, guys.
No, you're good. We're gonna work with it the best we can.
We'll get it.
We're gonna spread out the camera a little bit here. We're gonna go to break. All right, so we fixed, and with fixed, I put that in heavy quotation marks, our camera issue. Works the best that we can do, right? So 13-6 Holy Cross joining us in the second half here. I'm Dan Wilkins here with Vincent Folk, my producer for the evening. Big thanks to Coach Van Skyver and the Riverside Athletic Department for allowing us to be here on this wonderful Thursday night. It is always a pleasure to be up here in Burlington County, a little bit outside of our, I wouldn't say outside of our comfort zone, because we've been up here a handful of times. We were just in Delran on Monday, so I wouldn't say that's far at all. Saw a couple of Delran football shirts here. I don't think Delran is playing either Riverside or Holy Cross at any point this year, but maybe it's just some friends from the Brown and Gold. D'Angelo is going to kick this one off for the Rams. Sweeps it out to the left. He finds a little bit of room, number 19. He is gone. I don't see any flags. And a kickoff return touchdown. D'Ambrosio finds it for 75. And Lancers put 6 on the board with no flags. A touchdown return kicks off the second half.
Oh, sure.
75 yards.
Wow. When Roseville fell, so around the corner to the house, and now they go 10.
Again, folks, just please excuse us. We are working on fixing some camera issues up here. The window is locked. So this is we're just trying to fix the issue as best as we can, but took us 17 seconds for a kickoff return TD. Kickoff is PAT is no good, and it'll be 19-6. So Lancers put another score on the board with a kick return touchdown by D'Ambrosio, 75 yards, very impressive. Kind of spoiled by our technical difficulties here, but we will be right back. Riverside kicking it off, or excuse me, Holy Cross kicking it off after the kickoff return, and that goes out of bounds. You know, Riverside had their own kickoff return last year in their game against Pittman. So Riverside, after picking up or being the beneficiary of a kicking out of bounds penalty, sets up shop here from their own 35. Handoff to Isaiah Ali Lewis. Gets a little bit of mustard on that one and gets about 5 yards.
Got 5. 2nd and 5. From the 20-yard line.
Pitched back to the left side to number 9, Andrew Weaver.
Down hard by number 71.
Actually, I'm sorry, that is not Weaver. That is Parnell, I think, with a scrunched up jersey that looked like a number 9, but look at Weaver right there on the sideline, and that is Parnell. So it happens. Those 9s look like 3s, the 0s look like 8s. But Holy Cross leads by 2 scores now after an incredible kickoff return TD. Again, rolling out to the left.
Oh, so he's just so short on the first down.
It will be short.
Reading less than a yard. The bench cover the side down here.
Fourth and short. Here comes the rush. Think Potts got it, and they leave no hesitation to say that is a first down for the round. But I definitely think scoring on this opening drive of the half is definitely optimal in getting yourself back into this game. You didn't expect to be down by 2 scores this early, but the good thing about the kickoff return is that now that opens up the window for you to get yourself back in the game without, too much time burned, because it took them 17 seconds to find the end zone on just one play. And none from scrimmage either. That one goes up the middle for a good gain. And that's what Riverside had at the end of the second quarter, is that they had these consistent rushing plays that were a good 4, 5, 6 yards on every play. They were fairly consistent, and they were picking up first downs. And then once they got into the red zone, they started to run out of time. Potts, threw a couple of passes out and went for the QB sneak, and we were about a yard or two short. As here comes a handoff. Doesn't get too far, but this will be close.
Doesn't get much, but gets the first down.
It will be a first down for the Rams.
Sticks. We call 24-yard line.
Potts completes it to the right side, finds some space. He finds more space, and this will be, I think, short of the end zone, but it will get them close to the goal line and certainly within the red zone.
Well, got a 7-yard line. Run by Louisiana.
Looks like around the 7 is where they'll pick this one up. After a 35-yard completion by Potts, his longest this year so far. And off of the middle line, the Potts becomes crystal clear in the end zone. Touchdown, Ram. And the Rams are back on the board with another one just 4 minutes after the Lancers responded and opened up the half with a 75-yard return. The Rams add their own score to make this 19-12. And obviously, like we said, they'll go for 2. Like we said, they do not have a rostered kicker. See if they get this here. Riverside says it's good, and the officials say it's good. Riverside puts up 8 points and are within 5 of Holy Cross in kind of an unusual score, but a good one nonetheless. Hold on here. Riverside is helping a player off the field, number 75, Levi Martin Sr., being helped by Chris Wisniewski. We'll take a quick break. Riverside pulls it within 5 points, 19-14. Riverside puts up 8 points on a QB keeper by Dean Potts, followed up. And now the kickoff return by Riverside. Deja vu of just a couple of minutes ago. 14, Wakoziak has more room, and this time he's snuffed out inside the 25. That's where he'll stand at 7:25. The Lancers take over again. Like we've said, we've seen 4 turnovers so far tonight. And Holy Cross taking the field again, 19-14. Lancers were up 19-6 just a couple of moments ago, but Riverside was able to put up the 6+2. From the left hash, you've got Updike in the shotgun. Ball got bobbled for a second, but he hung on to it after a split second of confusion there as Doku. Shio on the carry.
Thanks by Riverside. It's second
It's been a tumultuous night for hanging onto the ball. 2 fumbles. But this time it ends up being no harm, no foul. And ends up benefiting Holy Cross here, but it is 2nd and 13. Updike goes for a home run ball. Incomplete. Again, please excuse us. Our tripod is... I'll kind of clear this up because it's been a little confusing for people that are just tuning in. The tripod that we have, there's a couple of locked windows here in the Riverside booth that just barely don't go up high enough for us to stick our tripod in it. And it was fine in the first half, but then when the sun set and the glare became really apparent, we tried to figure something out, and we ended up just literally ditching the tripod, and we're doing it 1960s style here with a little handheld. Maybe not 60s style, but you get what I'm saying. Little handheld. Updike dropping back again. Lets this one fly, and it's short. I think the wind caught a little bit of that one and brought it back in. So again, we apologize for the spotty coverage. It was fine in the first half, but then that glare just became a little too much, and we didn't want that to take away from the viewers of this live stream tonight. We appreciate you all hanging with us and being able to enjoy the night, regardless of how many tech issues we might be having. So, Doku's going to punt this one away. He's got 2 mouthpieces hanging out, too. Here goes Doku. Gets somewhat of a wobbly spiral. Goes past the 50. This is going to roll all the way to the 33. And what seemed like a decent, maybe okay punt ends up being a lot better for Holy Cross than we first thought. And Doku ends up contributing in a big way there on that punt. So we're just about halfway through the third. Hand off to the left side. Big hit on Parnell, who stays on his feet.
Run by Parnell.
Parnell is able to knock himself out of bounds as well. 2nd and 3. Handoff falls a little short. That should be about 2 yards shy of the line of scrimmage.
Here for you. Going down, that's the yard. That's going to be 3rd and about 4.
Third and mid-range for the Rams. They're going to try to step it up here and move the sticks midway through the third. Got a jet sweep running, but a fake. Handoff at the middle. Actually, I'm sorry, keeper up the middle with Potts. Think this is short, but maybe by a foot or two.
Rams.
No, it is going to be a first down for Riverside. Again, those QB keepers starting to get back into rotation. We saw them monotonously in the tail end of the second quarter. Now these guys are starting to utilize that back into their swing of things again as they're trying to tie this game up. And well, actually, no, they can't tie this game up because they're either going to put up 6, 8, or 0. Flies forward on that one. First down for the Rams. They picked this one up from the 41. Over the middle. Wrestled to the ground with a couple of Riverside Holy Cross guys on top of him. Shane Riley and number 20, Joey Carcasio, also in on that mix. Holy Cross led by TJ Maderia and assisted by John Rodriguez, Onadehu Konadu, Graham Murray, Jordan Godfrey, Matthew Sacco, and Matt Gross. 3rd and 6. Finding a little bit of space. Clock's going to stop. We do have a flag in the backfield. Ponce looking to, and a lot of Riverside players looking to get an explanation. You can see there's about 5 or 6, almost the entire Riverside huddle. It's going to be an illegal shift on the Rams. We saw that last year with Palmyra and Gloucester Catholic in the longest DWB stream for a football game that did not go to overtime. That was a 3-hour and 19-minute broadcast for a 48-minute game. And I remember there were 7 or 8 illegal formations in that game on September the 1st of last year. That was a doozy of a game, to say the least. Oh, Parnell bobbles the ball and makes a circus catch to hang on. He breaks free. We've got Laundry at the line of scrimmage, and after an incredible save by Parnell, this one might be coming back even after the save, avoiding a turnover.
And then double play by Parnell.
And with each great rushing play, 90% of the time, a block in the back, a hold, something brings it back.
Got him on side.
Especially in the high school level. Legal block on Riverside. So another penalty after the illegal shift, almost directly after the illegal shift, brings them back again. And Riverside signaling to their sideline here on 2nd and 20. They're already telling their team, punt team, get ready. I mean, I didn't want to repeat that on air, but 2nd and 20, and you're telling your punt team to be prepared in case they don't convert here. I mean, that's the thing about this offense is that in a rush-heavy offense, a QB keeper, they're going to knock him back even further. So I'm sorry, it was a 15-yard penalty for the illegal block. That brings it back to 2nd and 25 from their own 47. Potts dropping back. A wobbly pass gets knocked away. Intended for Howell. Broken up by Riley.
Breaks it out. Very, very
So 3rd and 25 after the incompletion. .3:15 left in third quarter. Holy Cross leads by 5 points. Potts again in the shotgun on 3rd and 25. I'd be surprised if they don't pass the ball here. And Potts will. He finds room from the pocket. A fiery pass. Ends up falling forward. It's going to be well short. They should get within 10 yards, but that's very hard to convert on a 3rd and 25. And do they keep the offense on the field, or do they punt from? I mean, in a 5-point game, do you punt? And it looks like they will. They will punt on 4th and 13 from the opposing 45. This one has some height to it. Holy Cross picks it up and immediately gets hit at the 20. It looks like, I think it might have even been better than that for Riverside. But either way, prime field position for the Rams defense and paltry field position to start this third quarter drive for the Holy Cross Lancers. Each team has scored once in this third quarter. Holy Cross set off the fireworks early with a 75-yard kickoff return touchdown from Anthony D'Ambrosio. And then Riverside got in the end zone on a Dean Potts keeper from 11 yards to make it 19-14, and that's where the score is held ever since. Out to the right, and somebody got wrestled to the ground there near the Holy Cross sideline. It'll be second down at about 6.
About 4, 7.
So here from the Rocky Chancellery Stadium here in Riverside, across the street from the Pop Vernon Fieldhouse. An excellent facility here in Burlington County, and a good game so far tonight. To the to the right side. Breaking free from a couple of tacklers, now finding room, finding more than enough room, and now taken down. The carry by number 4, Vincent Gilliam.
We trying to talk down the right turn. Riverside,
and it will be 1st and 10 with 1:40 left in the third quarter as Holy Cross sets this one up for a new set of downs after a huge gain by Gilliam. Marking their way up to the Riverside 30 and looking to once again make this a 2-score game. Pitches it out to the left. Gilliam, who just got that big run, gets the stamina to rush back to the left. Should be short of the line of scrimmage, and we might have a hurt Ram. No, Potts gets up okay. Also, Dean Potts playing both sides of the football. There you go. I mean, this is the glory of South Jersey Group 1 football, is that, and maybe it's the unglamorous side of the game, but you've got your starting quarterback who has been putting himself on the line tonight for his club with a host of QB sneaks and rushes and
Yep, we're back. All right.
third and very long as we're getting back on air here after a brief pause. Oh! Oh! Carnage! And the helmet pops off of Tristan Williams. Vince McMahon, you might have found your next quarterback for the XFL. Whew. This might be the $1 million game. I don't know. I mean, how about that?
I can't say it.
Glad we were able to come back for that. No, we don't have the replay buffer running, but well, I mean, you can, for our viewers at home, you can go on YouTube right now, hit the back button a couple times on your keyboard and watch that play over. That might reach the highlight reel for this week, but a heavy discussion going on. They're going to wave the flag off. You agree with that, Vince?
I mean, just looking at it, the main thing you look at when it comes to big time hits is it a hit to the head?
Or is it targeting?
Or is it targeting? And right there, I just saw, I'm sorry, but I know if someone disagrees, but it just looked like a clean body to body hit.
It was a clean hit and it was a powerful hit, and both can be true. So Williams takes a hit of a lifetime. That was Jason Witten-esque right there. And it is 4th and 9. And I'm sure TJ Madaria is not pleased with that call. But they pick up the flag, and now Holy Cross has another opportunity to change things up. With 13 seconds left, they've got time to run one more play off. You got to imagine with their tendencies tonight, another ball is being picked to the left, and it was knocked down. The intended receiver, I think, was Williams again on the flat, and Potts is down. Potts is down, and he just striked his fist into the grass. The starting quarterback for the Rams, and this is the risk that you take when you play your quarterback on both sides of the ball, and he will walk off limping on his right leg. He has done an excellent job in keeping Riverside in this game, but if Riverside loses him, you could see he has his hands over his helmet. He is very upset with himself as he is being helped by the Riverside athletic trainer, and he is bearing weight on that left foot, but Riverside now taking over will have to bring out their backup quarterback after with Potts as Max D'Angelo, the punter, kicker, and fullback and quarterback, comes in. He's the Taysom Hill of Riverside. Here comes another big hit to Parnell on the sideline, and the clock stopped with 0.8 on the clock. And we will run one more play at the end of the third quarter. And it looks like at the end of 3, Holy Cross will lead Riverside by 5 points, 19-14. A very intense start to the quarter. 2 scores in the first 4 minutes. Potts is back on the field. D'Angelo back on the sideline. So one play with the backup QB under center, and Potts with a quick rush. Didn't look like he was ready. And that play looks like it's going to get snuffed out at the line of scrimmage. And after 3, Holy Cross takes advantage of a kickoff return touchdown for 75 yards. And they take a 19-14 lead at the end of the third quarter. We'll be right back. Start of the fourth quarter. We've got food deliveries here in Riverside. They got Doritos.
Walking tacos.
Oh, walking tacos. You know, I haven't had one of those in years. Probably when sophomore year of high school, my school was still serving that for lunch. Probably the last time I had it.
Side trail point.
But usually I choose to eat tacos in shells instead of in chip bags.
Ooh, there's the top.
And in a nutshell tonight, Holy Cross has held the lead for most of the game. This one's going to be a loss, wherever direction that went. I'm sorry, that's a first down. It's been kind of off my game tonight. I apologize. Getting over an illness I had a couple of days ago, just getting over it. So I have been a little bit sloppy tonight, and I will admit that. But technical difficulties, not much I can do about. But the cadence and the calls that we make, we appreciate that you guys sticking with us through this Burlington County tilt.
The pocket.
All right, had an issue there for a while. And it all comes down to this, 4th and 12. Potts goes back to pass. He's in trouble. He's hit hard as he throws, and it's picked off by the Lancers. He gets tackled after the interception, and Holy Cross is going to maybe win this game. That should be it, as Holy Cross steals this one, and the Rams on a false start. 144.
Hold up. Yeah, big sack.
And Holy Cross gets the interception.
We're great together. It's a fine metal.
This place has been drained of its volume and energy as Holy Cross, just like with ACIT and Triton last week, an interception seems to be the deciding factor that seals the deal in a one-score game, 19-14. Handoff up the middle. Riverside has one timeout left, and the Rams will use it. We'll take a quick break with a minute 39 left. 19-14 Lancers. Lancers take this one over with 1:39 left. To the left, they run this even with no timeouts. They tried to force him out of the sideline. They're going to stop the clock here. Not sure what they stopped the clock for. I mean, he definitely went out. Or, I'm sorry, no, he didn't go out. Oh, then whatever happened for the Rams, they just burned their final timeout. We already had... That was weird. We already had the Rams as using all three of their timeouts. So, yeah, we might have. I mean, honestly, we very well could have, because if there was an issue of that sort, very rarely does
an official or does a timeout miscue sneak past the officials. I think it happened once with like Joe Gibbs in Washington in like '07 or something like that. But with Riverside burning their final timeout, things aren't exactly done yet. I mean, we kind of gave up on this game a little bit, but think about it this way. It's 3rd and 12. If Riverside stops them here, if they get anything other than a first down, they can punt and Riverside could have a miracle drive on the way. Handoff is stopped short. I don't even know if that got to the line of scrimmage. Yeah, this will burn about 40 seconds. And they have a minute 15. So Holy Cross will meander their way into a punt formation, as I like to call it, slow motion football. And Riverside maybe looking to channel their inner Deshaun Jackson or maybe a Devin Hester.
Or Turpin.
Yeah. Anything's possible here. And they've got under a minute to play, 47 and counting. Like I said, Holy Cross is going to meander their way here, and we've got a flag for a delay of game, it looks like. Yeah, I think they were just literally running the clock out. They'll take the 5-yard loss. That is Holy Cross's 4th delay of game penalty so far tonight. Saw that a couple weeks ago with Lower Cape May. They took about 5 or 6 delay of games. With 43.8, Lancers will punt. Again, just trying to run out that clock a little bit. Punt gets off, but it will run out to the left side, and the Rams with no timeouts, and the whistle's not coming in yet. Hold on here. Now there's some confusion because the clock stopped, I think, and the whistles didn't blow yet.
We have a first down for the Rams, and they have a little bit of time.
We've got 33.2.
Ball is at 5-yard line.
And Holy Cross is trying to get an explanation from the officials.
3 seconds to go. Hold on. Come on, Dino. 3 full games. 33 seconds to go in a very good game. Is it working?
Sorry, folks, having some more technical difficulties.
Loading the end.
Okay, yeah, we're still on the air. Sorry, YouTube was glitching out and telling us that we were off the air. Don't want to miss a moment like this. Potts rolling back. Line drive pass is incomplete. Weaver as the intended receiver. Knocks 5 seconds off the clock, and Holy Cross is still pretty livid about that play because the clock stopped for a couple of seconds before the whistle was blown. The ball was stopped, but I think my question is why wasn't the whistle blown when the ball stopped? Because the ball was stopped for a decidedly long time before it ended up being an issue. 2nd and 11. Or excuse me, 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Potts again. He's in trouble. No, he's going to break out of it. Now he passes deep. Oh! Weaver again tried to get it, but to no avail. That would have been an incredible catch, but I honestly didn't know if this game would still be alive. But these people are packing the seats, and with 3rd and 10 after 2 incompletions.
Right. You got to get 2 seconds to get them down.
And remember, you don't have to worry about a 2-pointer in this case. You're down by 5. A single 6 points wins the game. It is 3rd
and 10. 2 incompletions for the Rams on this miracle drive. Potts lets it fly. He caught it. It's caught by Ali Lewis, and it's out of bounds with 12.5. That's perfect execution there. They hugged the sideline, and they were able to get a first down.
10. First and 10.
So after back-to-back incompletions, Rams take this one over. Or excuse me, Rams advance.
What I said?
They're inside the red zone at the 15. No better time to win a ball game than now. Not a single soul sitting in this rocky stadium here in Riverside. Potts again takes it. He's been in a pass-heavy mode tonight. He breaks through a tackle. He hangs on to the football, and he's going to get stopped. And that's going to do it. Potts got stopped, and Holy Cross wins it. An incredible ball game with an incredible finish. There's a player down at the end of it. And Holy Cross hangs on 19-14. What an incredible finish. And with Holy Cross getting kind of the short end of the stick on a couple of penalties.
See, you would score more.
And a devastating loss for Riverside. The attention turns to the injured player. That is a Holy Cross player down there. Before these teams line up at the 50. And Holy Cross remains undefeated at 5-0. And like we said, after Riverside last year started off 6-1, they fell in their last 4 games to fall to 6-5. And this year, after a 3-0 start, lost to Burlington City, and now back-to-back home losses versus the Blue Devils and now the Lancers, as a 1-score ball game goes down to the wire, down to the final play. And these guys are going to line up at the 50. And a bit of a larger crowd surrounding that Holy Cross player that is down. He is being lifted up. That is Tristan Williams.
Over. Fine trophy.
And they will shake hands at the 50. We will stay on the air for the Memorial Trophy.
Brother Tom Donner wearing his jersey to present the trophies.
The Riverside class of 1972 graduate Tom Nolder. Man, this place went from 100 to 0 in about 10 seconds. But how about the Riverside offense? You know, they changed things up in a big way. You know, Dean Potts came into this game with 77 passing yards, and he easily doubled that tonight. And they bet on the pass, and it worked 99% of the time. And the one time that it didn't was when they needed it to work. So, you know, that's the unfortunate thing that happened. And, you know, obviously a lot of mutual respect for these programs, very classy programs all around. And like we said, a very, very good game. Probably one of our best of the year if it weren't for the tech issues and some of our live stream shortcomings. Again, we apologize for that. It has been a rough couple of hours for us in getting in traffic and, you know, getting ourselves out of that jam with our Wi-Fi issues in the fourth quarter. But Again, thank you all very much for joining us. I'm not sure when they're going to be. I guess they're going to be awarding the trophy right now. Hopefully, it's not. Obviously, this is a sentimental ceremony for both Holy Cross and Riverside. This game means a lot to them. And these guys are going to talk to their players for Holy Cross and Coach Madaria, and then with Riverside and Coach Van Sciver, like we said, Holy Cross still an undefeated team at 5-0 on the campaign, and then Riverside, after 3 straight wins to start the campaign, falling to 3-2 after 5 weeks of play here in the WJFL season. And there's Mr. Mulder there being introduced by Coach Madaria. And the trophy has been hoisted by the Lancers. The Nolder Divine Trophy will go to Delran and the Holy Cross Prep Lancers of Delran. Again, big thanks to the Riverside Rams and Coach Van Sciver for having us out here this evening. It's an excellent place to be. Hopefully, we'll be back here sometime soon. There's the trophy, high and with a lot of pride for this Lancers Ball Club. From everybody here at Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, our next stream will be tomorrow night in Deptford versus the Egg Harbor Eagles. From our entire crew, our social media coordinators, Brandon Kagerland and Keely Kerr, and our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel and Caleb Lane. My producer, Vincent Folkt, and color commentator, I'm Dan Wilkins. We'll see you guys tomorrow night in Gloucester County. Holy Cross stays undefeated with a 19-14 win, and the Nolder Divine Trophy goes to the Lancers. Have a good one, folks.